Hola, join me on Entrada as we explore age-old traditions in Ouro Preto, Brazil's historic gold rush town.
Join me as I wind my way through its cobblestone streets, meet with the traditional soapstone carver, and ride horseback through the mountains. Hola, I'm Roanna, and we're in Ouro Preto, Brazil, a gem of a city named Black Gold. And that's because there were mines filled with silver, gold, precious gems, and soapstone. Let's take a look at the map and see where we are. Brazil is the 5th largest country in the world. It stretches over almost half of South America. The state of Minas Gerais lies inland north of Rio de Janeiro. Ouro Preto is nestled in the mountains 260 miles from the Atlantic coast. It is the mountains that made Ouro Preto, and it's a beautiful morning to explore the town's outskirts. Lonely red clay roads that wind up into the hills. Rugged and scrub-covered, they don't look very generous. But they were, and continue to be. It was here in these mountains that a lucky explorer, a bandeirante, discovered gold back in the 17th century. Soon, the overflowing riches brought fortune-seeking Portuguese in droves. And, within a few years, government, church, and family combined to form the bedrock of a new world. The view of the valley from the mountains of Minas Gerais is breathtaking. Spread out below is the colonial town of Ouro Preto, with its white row houses and red-tiled roofs. Narrow cobblestone streets curve along steep hills, and spectacular churches stretch against the bright sky. My first stop is the Mercado. Brazil's language, Portuguese, may be different from other Latin American countries, but this is still Latin America. The market is the foundation of daily life. I've met with Chef Yara Roberts Castro, who will be preparing tonight's meal.
Hi. You get to see the people.
Yeah, it smells
and
so
this,
great, doesn't it?
it smells great, looks great. This is what I want you to see.
What's this?
Watch out because I have some thorn. This is the Ouro Pronobis.
Ouro Pronobis. We're using this in tonight's recipe.
We're having a tonight's recipe for the chicken.
Oh, it's like a rose bush.
It is a rose bush. Actually, it grows against the wall. It becomes a vine.
It smells so fresh. And what a great texture on the leaves.
Very rich.
It's a thick leaf, isn't it?
It's a thick leaf.
Yes.
When you handle that for the cooking, you have to shred it. Ever, never you cut with any knife.
So it's all hand shred,
It's
all the
hand
time.
shred. And people here, they go crazy about it. And I want us to taste. I wanted to show you that.
Well, definitely. While using it tonight's recipe
You're
will be
using tonight.
perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Isn't that fabulous? Oh, by the way, here it is. This is mandioca.
The yucca.
The yucca, a tuber native of Brazil. And we get a wonderful flour out of it.
Really, huh?
Called polvilho. And I have a treat for you.
You do?
I know a person in Ouro Preto, she makes the best pão de queijo. I'll take you there.
Pão de queijo?
Pão de queijo. It's a treat, you see.
All right, I'll trust you on this one.
Look, it's nice, this place. It's just wonderful.
In Ouro Preto, there's a woman who is known as the Queen of Cheese Bread. She is revered because she's carrying on a dying tradition. Hardly anyone makes cheese rolls from scratch anymore, but Conceição makes over 700 of the delicious little loaves every day in her tiny kitchen. Conceição uses a very fine flour made from mandioca, the tuber we saw in the market. The next important ingredient is a special Minas cheese. distinctively cured and essential to the final flavor.
Cured. It's like Parmesan cheese. And the inside, then they grate it, and they mix it with the flour.
Next, she adds salt, water, oil, and milk to the flour, stirring quickly so as just to moisten it.
Oil and milk.
Ferver junto e vou escaldar. A gente fala escaldar.
You know what this looks like? Scrambled egg. Like,
That's
egg,
right.
Yes. That's what the flour looks like.
Parece ovos mexidos.
In fact, you do add eggs, and you scramble them yourself as you knead them into the sticky dough.
Flour,
Then comes that wonderful grated cheese, which gets mixed in thoroughly so there will be some in every bite. And finally, it's into the oven to cook until golden brown. The aroma is fantastic, and my mouth is watering.
Vamos provar?
That's how you like it,
Just the way
Joanna.
I like it. Crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
With lots of little holes, exactly how it should be.
Oh, this is good. Could you please tell her that I am honored to be with the Queen?
Ela disse que é uma honra para ela estar com a rainha do pão de queijo.
Ah, tá.
Obrigada.
Obrigada a você pelo jeito.
Up next on Entrada, Ouro Preto's glorious cathedral. All of our Ouro Preto sites are within easy walking distance of the central square, Plaza Tiradentes. My guide Tatiana takes me to the town's pride and joy, the 18th century chapel of St. Francis of Assisi. The church, designed by the famous architect, sculptor, and engraver Alejandrino, is a masterpiece of Portuguese Rococo. It's an unusual church and very ahead of its time, on the outside and the inside. Inside the church, you can see the loving details in the paintings, figures, and intricate soapstone carvings. Suddenly, the sound of singing children draws us back outside to a spirited religious celebration. We were lucky enough to catch the final act of the Mineiro Festival, a special mass followed by a procession for the local patron saint. Young girls in white communion gowns dance carrying garlands of flowers in tribute to the Virgin Mary. Religion is a crucial part of Brazilian culture. 90% of the population is Roman Catholic. In fact, if you're here for any length of time, you're bound to catch one of the many religious festivals and holy days going throughout the year. And if you're looking for an activity that's a little more material, there's always shopping. The mountains and rivers were generous with their semi-precious stones, and Ouro Preto is famous for the gems and jewelry for sale in little boutiques along the central square.
Emeralds?
A gemologist shows us the different types of jewels found in Minas Gerais. Aren't they dazzling? Bright green emeralds, yellow citrines, olive peridots, purple amethysts, aquamarines, smoky topazes, and crystal clear blue-green tourmalines. But the pièce de résistance is a rare gem found only in Minas Gerais.
What's that?
Natural Imperial Topaz.
You're kidding. That's natural imperial topaz.
No mundo inteiro é só encontrado em Ouro Preto, né?
It's from Ouro Preto?
Yes.
Quanto
Only
mais
place in
rosa,
the world.
The imperial topaz ranges from pale yellow to cherry red. The stronger the color, the more expensive the gem. The stones are mined out of the mountains or panned from ancient riverbeds.
Typical from mine.
agora em rios ele é encontrado assim.
In the river, they are smaller and round.
Look at the difference.
They are more round.
They're rounder and also they're not as polished.
No,
Que é a melhor qualidade
What's
que
that?
existe, essa
Very
cor aqui,
quality.
muito rara.
it's hair.
What's that?
Imperial topaz.
You're kidding.
Número 10.
Look at the
qualidade.
The
Number
top.
10, the top. Wow, look at the difference in color. I'm off to meet Yara at the restaurant where she teaches cooking classes. She's inside preparing the ingredients for tonight's meal. Hello, Yara.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good, I've been
Tudo
busy.
bem?
Tudo bem.
Yes, you have been busy. And I've been busy too. Ouro Preto is precious.
I know.
It is fantastic.
It is
I don't think
fantastic.
I've ever seen a prettier city.
I'm glad you liked
Oh, it's heartwarming. This is great. And so are the people, as a matter of fact.
it. It's known for that.
This smells delicious. So fresh.
Well,
What are we cooking today?
we are cooking chicken ora pro nobis.
Chicken ouro pro nobis. And of course, we saw the ouro pro nobis, which is a rose-like vine vegetable that grows only in Ouro Preto, of
That's
course.
right, of course.
And here are the ingredients.
Well, we have the chicken,
Perfect.
we have onions, we have scallions, we have garlic, bay leaf, ciboulette,
Spring onion,
and here we have
tomato paste.
tomato paste, and here you have tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes.
And here you have the famous ora pro nobis.
Oh, I like the way you put that on a plate.
Isn't it pretty?
That's
and of
great.
course, salt, pepper, and some flour, which we need to make a wonderful combination for that dish.
Fantastic. So what's the first step?
Well, the first step is to heat some oil.
What kind of pot is that?
Oh, this is fabulous.
Beautiful.
This is soapstone pile.
Soapstone.
Isn't that great?
I didn't know you could cook in
Absolutely.
soapstone.
You should.
That's great.
It's wonderful. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to put some of the chicken to get very crispy.
Pass it for you. Ah.
So after that, you have all the caramelized skin. And so when you put all the other ingredients and you scrape the bottom of the pot, you get all the juices and the good stuff.
Oh, so it tastes great.
It tastes wonderful.
And that's why you leave the skin on the chicken.
Exactly.
Yara, why do you put the flour on the chicken?
Well, actually, it's because you get the caramel of the meat, and now together with the flour, you get everything you need to make a very good sauce.
So will the flour on the chicken thicken the sauce?
Exactly.
Only instead of putting it in the
Right,
sauce, you
right.
put it on the chicken.
Well, now we're going to make the sauce.
Excellent. And we're going to be using the same pot.
Yes,
Right?
which is
using
in
the
the-
jus from the crispy chicken.
The crispy
So now
chicken.
it's ready to
To receive all
receive
those,
That's the word I was looking for.
to receive all those beautiful chopped onions.
Now, don't you typically put the garlic in first?
Well, I have a secret for you. I like to put the onions first because garlic has sort of put an oil, and it's very tricky because this soapstone is very hot. So if you have the garlic before, what happens is that you may burn it. This pot is fantastic because it keeps the heat going.
Oh, so soapstone retains the heat.
Retains the heat is a wonderful way to save energy.
Now, there is a good point.
That's a good point. So you see just a couple of seconds, and now goes in the cilantro. Look, you see? It's already very good color.
You know what? The color's excellent. Totally
That's
caramel.
why you want it. The next step is to add the scallions.
Okay, great.
And it gives another sort of a flavor to the pot, and I'm going to save some of it to put on top of it when we'll be eating. So now it's ready for the tomato.
Excellent.
I'm going to start with the tomato paste.
Tomato paste. I'll help you with the tomatoes, which are going in next, right?
Go ahead. I like to add salt and pepper every time I add an ingredient.
Oh, yeah?
You give to the ingredients every time a chance to talk with the salt.
Isn't
And
that
if you
super?
add at the very end, you don't get exactly the same result.
So, Yara, now we have to add the water, right?
Yes. You see, everything comes together.
Now, this is the stew part. So how long does it take now to cook?
You know, this is slow food cooking, so it takes probably an hour.
Hey, that's perfect, because now I can go meet Maria Sonia and do whatever adventure pops up along the way.
Oh, good.
And I'll be back to finish part 2 of the recipe.
You won't be disappointed when you come back.
Todo bom?
Tudo bem. Tchau, linda.
Ciao. Up next on Entrada, Ouro Preto's exquisite soapstone sculptures. My friend Maria Sonia is an Oro Preto curator who is working to save the area's traditional arts and crafts. Soapstone carving is her passion. She especially loves the beautiful facade of the Church of St. Francis of Assisi. Today, a soapstone market sits at its feet, offering traditional, religious, and modern pieces, mostly factory-made. Well, it's not the imperial topaz, but there is a lot of beauty here. And a lot of the items for sale have a practical use. Chess sets, wine carafes, oh, and those terrific pots of yaras. I think I'm going to need a bigger suitcase.
Now, Rana, look at this. Isn't it fabulous?
Why is the shell significant to Oro
It's
Preto?
very significant because you see on the fountains in the streets the same shape, an original shape of the 18th century. And one of the most important artists, that Brazilian one, in the 18th century, he was called Aleijadinho. He was the one who made a lot of things in Ouro Preto.
I see.
And this form belongs to him.
Next, Maria Sonia takes me to the backyard workshop of a local soapstone carver, João. Maria Sonia, what is he making?
He's making a glass. I'll show you. That's how it's going to be.
I see that over there, there's something that looks a little more authentic,
Yeah.
made of wood.
Yes, because it depends on the shape of the piece. Yes, it depends on that.
Still
this
it's
is magical, isn't it?
This is incredible.
It's like a bird.
It is, it's like a birth, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Isn't that amazing?
And you see that different colors.
Absolutely, yeah,
As we've
because
seen
soapstone
before.
comes in
Yeah.
different colors.
Yeah. See?
My last stop before the final meal preparation is a real eye-opener. Once I can see what's going on through all the smoke and steam. This is the traditional Brazilian method of making preserves. Today it's guava jelly, cooked in huge copper pots over an open fire. Plenty of sugar, a large wooden paddle, and a couple of hours are all you need to make this sweet Brazilian treat.
Bom dia, Maria.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem?
Bom dia. Bom dia, Maria.
Bom dia.
Luana, minha amiga, que está visitando Ouro Preto.
prazer.
Igualmente.
Well, this smells delicious. Do we get to taste this?
Let's get to taste it.
Yara's friend Maria tells us that she's making a traditional guava preserve formed into solid blocks. Jellies take 2 hours of cooking time. This closer to 4. The cooked fruit is placed into a mold, cooled, and cut into smaller blocks. Look at that. Now that's really thick. So this is a 4-hour. It must have been taken at least 4 hours.
Esse que levou 4 horas, não é, Maria, pra fazer?
Esse aqui é mais demorado.
Couldn't get thicker than this. Awesome. What a perfect combination of salty and sweet. As the sun sets behind the mountains, we finish preparing tonight's meal.
If I give you the chicken without the oropronobis and the chicken with the oropronobis, oh, of course, it's different, you know? But it is a delicacy.
Now, what happens if people don't have Ouro Pronobis,
Oh.
which they will not unless they're in Ouro Preto? So
Exactly,
what
yeah.
are we going to use then?
I have many suggestions. One of them will be the kale.
Exactly.
Did you know you make in a chiffonade, you cut it very thin, or you shred it, which is perfectly all right, and you just saute that with a little bit of oil, and if you want, you can add some garlic to that, but it's optional. And then you add that to the pot.
So how do we cook this then?
Well, very hot oil.
Sounds like popcorn.
It is.
Oh my
has
gosh,
all the
look at it.
form. Look at this.
It has a life of its own.
So you keep shaking it, and you can see how shiny it still is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's glistening.
And do you see it's releasing something. Look, right there. Now I'm going to put some water. So watch out. And it starts releasing, you see, this white substance. And that's what you want it to get out of the leaves.
Oh, that's how you fry it first.
Exactly. And then we put
because
that in
really
the
it would
pot.
have cooked if it just simmered with the rest of the stew. So time to add the oro pro nobis to the stew.
The magic of the oro pro nobis.
So we stir it for a little while and then it's ready to serve. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready for dinner.
Yes, and bring your appetite.
Bring my appetite, I will.
Okay.
Obrigada.
See you.
Finally, a taste of oro pro nobis. Up next on Entrada. So we have the stew, and then this is polenta, right?
This is polenta. Actually, we call that angu.
You know, I now understand about the oro pro nobis taking the taste.
That's what I was telling in the kitchen when we were cooking together. That if it is there, you know, it has a specific taste. But if it weren't there, you would miss it.
You know, yeah, you're absolutely right. And you don't want to miss this either. Here are the recipes. To create Yara's incredible chicken oro pro nobis, heat the oil and sear the chicken pieces until browned. Remove and sprinkle them with flour. In the same pan, sauté onions until translucent. Add garlic and stir well, cooking for 3 minutes. Add the scallions, the tomatoes, and the tomato paste, stirring gently. Add the water and bay leaves. Bring the chicken to the pan, making sure all the pieces are coated with sauce. Cook for 1 hour. If you can't get oro pro nobis, substitute with Swiss chard or kale, julienned and sautéed for 2 minutes. Add the chicken with its juice and cook for 5 minutes. Serve with corn polenta. Thank you to two beautiful ladies with two beautiful names. Thank you so much for unlocking the secrets and showing me all there is about Ouro Preto, this very precious city.
Thank you to come here.
Thank you for showing me around this beautiful city.
Well, actually, thanks to you too, because it was wonderful cooking with you.
Thank you.
And as they say in Brazil, to people who really enjoy food in life, they say saravá. Saravá, Ruana. It's a very special tribute to you.